morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. I didn't feel like I was done, so I got my Stanley 450 amp instant starting power jump box, which has a USB port right there. Lights on. That's the little red eye there. So, hey, that fire took off. It's doing good. What looks like the bottom there is actually a cage that someone built for putting coffee. You could put coals in there and you put coffee pot on it. So there has to be 5 more tiers below what looks like the bottom there. Edge out to the side here. Ground level's down there. It'll burn for a while. It's doing good. The rain cut down a little bit. So, alrighty, there we go. And I got a cigarette rolled. Met a lady, I didn't meet her. I'd love to meet her someday. Gloria. Somewhere in the Midwest. Somewhere within the Craton. Somewhere within the, shall we say, the breadbasket of America. She was on a group I was on, and she said, has God ever given anybody else this problem? She said, He's told me I'm going to be taking care of 3,500 people. Walked her through an old abandoned, something like a steel plant. Yeah, steel plant. And we would tell her, this is what this was used for, but it can be used for this. And this was what this could be used for, but it can be used for a water filter. And one of the things he specifically led her to store up was cigarettes and things like that, and toiletries and things that once people got there, they would not be able to go back into town for their vices. So she actually was storing up vices, tobacco and cigarettes and stuff like that. So you get a pound of tobacco for less than $15. 3 cartons of tubes of 250 each. That's more than 3. It's about almost 4 cartons of cigarettes, and so you can get about 4 cartons of cigarettes out of 15 and 10 bucks, 25 bucks. At least here you can. Kansas City area and Springfield, Bolivar, places like that. Collins. Anywhere that has smoke shops like that. Little injector things. Pretty cool for injecting cigarettes. So, back to my rant, or whatever you want to call it. It's raining. I'm going to pick up the umbrella here. I do have a nice wool sweater on it. I call it my $10,000 sweater from my partner. He broke it and gave it to me. It's one of the only things I have for 5 years of research and development and a lifetime of research. Stole that from me. TuningElement.com. Look it up. Tell him what for. If he's still around. If he's still alive. God's judgment's coming on people that Shemitah people the wrong way. He was controlling. He wanted to tell me everything to do. And I said, man, God's given me something to do, and He's blessed us. He's given us miracle after miracle after miracle, and you don't need to be controlling me all the time. Sorry about the jerky picture. Same thing, my wife trying to control me our entire marriage, and finally she Shemitah'd me. I expected something to happen mid-Shemitah because I read the book, The Mystery of the Shemitah. And I did. I got Shemitah'd by 2 people. Business partner of 5 years and marital partner of 37 years. So there you go. But he who laughs best. We have 5 months until Shemitah. 29th of Elul, 13th of September. Asteroid striked up in the Atlantic Ocean. Going to take out the East Coast for a lot of things. Illuminati and the bills they put out, the bills they used to have the Twin Towers on falling. Well, that is true now. The new bills have from low definition to high definition actually have a wave coming over tall buildings on the East Coast. The amazing thing is, you meant it for evil, God meant it for good. God's going to clean this nation up. Judgment's coming. And I'm here to tell you, it's going to be glorious. It's going to be ugly, yes. Judgment is ugly, but it's a cleaning process. See that fire there? If I put a massive junk in there that had a bunch of other stuff in it, it would burn it, either burn everything off. If it got hot enough, like 3,000 degrees, you could melt the gold out of it. So fire has to be really hot to melt gold. I tried to smelt gold. I might have told you that one time with my lead furnace that I use for casting bullets. I put some gold in there. Didn't touch it. I looked up the melting temperature of gold. It's like, I don't know, 2,100 degrees, something like that. It's 3 to 4 times hotter than lead before you can even start to melt gold. Got a hot fire coming this nation, people. Hot fire. Judgment fire. You're not going to have transportation capability. You're not going to have communication capability. Get where you want to be. Do it now. Get out of the cities. Get out of the cities. Get out of the cities. Survival rule number 1. Get out of the cities. Survival rule number 2. Get out of the cities. Survival rule number 3. Get out of the cities. You want to witness to the guards in prison camps and as they torture you and rape your children and your wife, your sons, your daughters, and then eat them. More power to you. I don't think that's what God wants for most of his people. There's going to be beheadings. You're seeing that in the Mideast. There's some ugly things coming down the pike, people. Cannibalism, you name it. Raping, pillaging, torturing. Read The Bridget Andau by James Michener, who's a cub reporter. He covered the Hungarian Revolution in 1956. He says there's always going to be people that want to torture people. That's why they become policemen. So, change is coming. You got to decide for yourself. You got to decide according to what the Lord has for you, where you want to be, where you feel you should be. And I will say this, as I've said before, the safest place for you is in the center of God's will. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Their real names were Azariah, Hananiah, and Mishael. And they were safest in the fiery furnace, not out of it. Had they bowed down to that idol, they would not have been safer. They would have suffered the judgment of God. Doesn't matter if the fire is 6 times hotter, you can survive it. Unbelievers will not. So be encouraged in that. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't tell from here. I almost wish that rack wasn't there so you could see it. But these fires burn that. The little stuff burns on the top and then it trickles down, and it's really going good now. Nice wind going. I turned the wheelbarrow over on the other kindling. I'm going to pop my cigarette out there. There's your wheelbarrow. I turned it upside down on the kindling it had so it won't get wet. Those are some hanging sticks you're seeing in there, some rods bent to hang different lengths of you get, put a pot on it and it'll, hang down however close you want it to the fire. So, anyway, I'm going to talk just for a couple more minutes and I need to get to bed. So, judgment's coming. You would be wise to get out of the way. It was these survivalists who left the bloody fingerprints on the ark, the gopher wood of the ark outside. The survivors were inside, and guess what? It really was a case of us 4 and no more about. Noah, his 3 sons, their wives, 8 people. So, us 4 men and their wives and no more. It happened once. But I think there's going to be a few more than that. I think God's going to give us a tithe. 500 million people in this country. I think we could see 50 million people survive what's coming. That's 10%. It says in the scriptures he'll give us a remnant. Even though a tithe was left. Talks about the terebinth tree. Look up that passage. Can't give it to you off the top of my head because I'm sitting here with the wind blowing and it is getting chilly and I'm a little wet. And I need to get in and get some sleep because like I said, I might get woke up real early with some person hammering and making really loud noises, clomping around and banging things. So, well, anyway, I don't know what to say. I do want to say this. Like I said, I don't know how many subscribers I have at this point, but I'm really going to need some help to keep this going. If I had 10 families tithing a couple $100 a month, that would really help. That would let me do, well, I wouldn't even need that much. I need something to get by on and be able to get some video done and some a website up, a blog site. I'd like to get a fundraiser. That's where I need to get to. That's what I was planning on. I really still want to do that. I want to get a fundraiser, a Kickstarter, Indiegogo. One of them said, tell your dream. And when I saw that, I was like, man, I have a dream. I have a huge dream. A dream to save 50 million people in this country. Save the poor, the children, the women. It doesn't take a whole lot of men to start things over, but you need women and children. So that's kind of where I'm at with this. I do need help. I hope that people will get on board. And there's 40 acres here I'd like to buy right near this property. This is part of 10 acres on what was a 60-acre farm, and there's 40 acres right next to it for sale. And I'd love to buy that and extend this community by quite a bit. So, surrounded on 3 sides by 2,500 acres of empty forest. They're logging on the other end of it, but it's a long ways away, and it'll probably take them a while before they get here. Yeah, they might punch in here, but so what? They're decent people. Anyway, I guess that's about it. I'm going to let this go and quit rambling here and get some sleep, get some shut-eye. So, I don't know what else to say. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon. If you are listening to this, you are the remnant. Good night.